Ooh, I don't know.
It's gonna be what it is.
I mean, I can change it real quick. 30.
Hey guys, happy Friday. It is Friday. It is Friday. TGIF. Listen, I am, look, what you say? I am so excited about tonight's show. Well, let me start by saying, first of all, to all of you that do not know who I am, my name is Tamara Johnson. I am the creator of this amazing platform. Amazing. Let's be clear, that's the name of the talk show. And I am actually a healthy marriage advocate, healthy marriage and relationship advocate. My goal is to help us and remind us of what marriage really should look like. You know, there's so many things that's going on in the world and what the world is saying marriage should look like, but I want us to get down to the nitty gritty and get to what the words say marriage should look like, right? A lot of you may know I talk a lot about divorce, but that's just one of the vehicles to getting us back to the root of what marriage is, right? And so in this series, it's called Dad, Dating After Divorce. I've been doing quite a few series, but this one right here was kind of near and dear to my heart. And I started it out with I call him my dad. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't. But my biological father passed away in 2016. So it was such an honor to get my best friend, her dad, which I call Dad, to come on and share his thoughts and what he felt in regards to parenting a child after divorce, right? So it was, if you haven't watched that show back in, I want to say March, you guys, please go back and catch up and look at and he dropped some good jewels. I promise you, some things that I was over there taking notes on because a girl needed to know. He's also, his name is William Benson, excuse me. He's also the CEO and founder of A Father Forever, which is a nonprofit organization. And I will drop the link on this page as well so you guys can go over and follow. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm not going to monopolize the time. I am going to get started. I have my sister, my best friend from, 12 years old?
12 years old.
We're 12 years old. This is my sister, right? They're no longer best friend. We don't even really use that word anymore because we're just family, right? So, sister, right? So I am so excited again to have Miss Akila here with me today. No. Today. Y'all listen, so we're goofy. You're gonna pick up a lot of our goofiness. This is what we do. But we are here to just share some things. When I spoke with Dad, Akila, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to just share with the people who you are, a little bit about yourself. But when I spoke to Dad, he shared from his heart about being a father or a parent, watching his daughter, his child go through divorce. And, you know, not always the easiest thing. It's not easy to watch a friend, let alone a child, right? But before we jump into that, let the folks know who you are.
So I am Akila Denson, founder, Akila Denson Brackets. I do use both names still. Founder of The Resilient Collective. We are Los Angeles County's first reentry entrepreneurial agency. So we assist those coming out of incarceration for 24 months thereafter, getting housing, jobs, skill development, and the goal is entrepreneurship. But today, I'm here to support my sister in her vision for this Let's Be Clear platform. And I am more than happy to share, and as you say, show, what I have. What you want? What you got?
Let's go ahead and get started. So listen, well, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I know, if anybody know Akila, if you know Akila, she is an actress at heart, okay? And so she did acting as a child. So this is actually her first time being on screen as herself.
And I'm a little, y'all just bear witnesses.
She's accustomed to being Weezy. These are the people who she played. Characters, yes. So now she is being forced, so to speak, to be who she is
100%.
in front of camera, in front of you all, and I actually love it.
I love it.
I love that I had the opportunity to be the first person to do this.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. So again, as I said, we had Dad on, and he talked a little bit about how he felt and what he had to do as he watched you go through divorce. One of the biggest things that he said to me that was so important, because as parents, we want to step in and rescue, right? He said the opposite. He said you have to take a step back, right? Take a step back. He said because as you were in your emotions and feelings, and he was like, you weren't being rational at all. So he couldn't allow himself to do what he would normally do as a parent because you didn't hear it.
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't receive it. I couldn't hear it. When he said stuff, it was, you don't listen.
Yeah. And that's life. That's life in general when our parents are talking to us, right? And it's not until after the fact, after we begin the healing, after we get on the other side of that door, that we say, you were right. You were right.
Why was I tripping?
I was tripping
So
this whole
hard.
time. Absolutely. So I want you to share with the people, what was your relationship like with Dad as a child? And I mean a little girl, a teenager, college, marriage, and then divorce.
Oh, that's good. I love that time.
Yeah, well, I want you to answer.
I'm just pause because I'm thinking. I'm sorry, y'all. So, as a child, my dad was my superhero. My dad is this pro-black, Black Panther style, it's better if it's darker type of guy, and that's just, I was raised in that. And I'm very grateful that I was. So as a child, we were super close. Even before 12, I lived with him. I moved and lived with him at 9, 10 years old permanently. And yeah, we were just super close. He was my superhero. Dad could do everything. It was nothing he couldn't do. If I wanted a new outfit, we didn't have any money, I had a new outfit.
Right.
And it wasn't every time. You remember? We had a new outfit.
Hello.
So yeah, it was just like, he made stuff happen.
He did. And, that is so commendable, for a man, especially back in those times. I'm acting like we're super old, but back then, right, to take on the task of having you full time. That mom was traveling to work. And so he was like, this is my daughter, right? And that was one of the things that I admire about him, is that he pushed fathers being a father, no matter what. And even now in his nonprofit organization, that's the whole mission. That is the mission, right? So it's not that he just woke up one morning and said, I think dads need to really be dads. Dad has been a father, and not just a daddy. No, he's been a father.
He's been grafted
Forever. That's who he's
That's
been,
who he
right?
is.
And so your younger years as a child in the home with Dad, did you see him to be strict?
My dad was really. I couldn't spend the night anywhere unless it was your house.
And he shared that on the video.
I couldn't, did he tell you about the instance where there was an issue even with the girl and her dad? And I was like, oh, okay, Dad saw that coming.
Right.
But he was very strict. Everything was timed. 6 o'clock if you were supposed to be there. If you were there at 5:58, you're late. So it was very strict, but I hated it back then.
Right.
I hated it. But I'm so grateful he was like that.
And we're gonna get to that in the later years.
So happy he was like that.
Absolutely.
And then, as I transitioned into my high school and puberty and stuff, he was there, as the girls.
How did that work though? Like, okay, we get our cycle.
I had to stay in the bathroom while I went to the grocery store. I know that's probably TMI, but that's what it was.
But did you tell, how did you share that?
I was like, Dad, through the bathroom door.
Dad,
It's girl time.
Did he have conversation with you?
Well, he did. And he had a girlfriend at the time. I don't even remember her name, but we had that conversation too. So I was ready. And my mom always told me what to do.
Of course.
But he was there when it actually happened.
So as a teenager though, how was the relationship?
Well, a lot of times me and my dad bumped heads because I couldn't do anything. Mm-hmm. And when I say I couldn't do anything, it's not that I was stuck in my room and had to read all day, but I had stuff to do before I could play. which is do the fun things. I had to read 20 minutes a day. I told him I wanted to be a journalist. So I had to read 20 minutes a day into a recorder, listen to it, and you know, have him tell me what was good, what was bad, reread it.
Wow.
You know, like that was what, 2 or 3 times a week. You know, and I did that just so I could watch back then Different World and Cosby Show.
You knew what you had to do what you wanted to do.
And we were so close. Like he would get off of work. He had 2 jobs. He was a mailman back then, and he was a Southwest ramp agent back then. And I had to cook. So he thawed meat out. He walked me through it on his lunch break on what to do. Or I would call my mom, like, how do I do this? I make the salad. I can do it. I make the salad. But yeah, we were just, it's always been very, very tight, very tight.
And you know what, even my experience in stepping in at 12 years old, he took me in as his, right? So he didn't treat me any different than he treated you. When he said no to you, it was no to me. You know, when he chastised you, he chastised me. If I'm there and he on punishment, we on punishment. You know, so I do know that to be, that's just who he is. You know, and so I'm just so grateful that I had an opportunity to share that. I want to say thank you. I know this is about saying thank you to Dad, you saying thank you to him. But I want to say thank you to you because you shared him with me. Yeah. And today it means so much more than it did then because I don't, you know, my dad is not here, right?
But you did the same with me.
I did do the same with you, but it's a little different. I said it's different because my dad is no longer here, right?
Got you.
So it's, you know, and even now, Dad will call me and he gets on me like, where you been? And why haven't you called? And you sure are a busy lady, you know. But I'm just very appreciative to have a father figure, someone who genuinely loved me, you know, someone who knew how my dad loved me and he just picked up.
Yeah.
You know, so that I'm grateful for that. And then, so moving on into college, was that more of a challenging time for you?
That wasn't, because I was on the other side of the country, and remember, my dad still had 2 jobs. So 6 a.m. here, 9 a.m. there. You know, when he got off at 10 p.m. here, 1 a.m. there. Now I was asleep, but I wasn't picking up my dad's call at 1 a.m. and he probably wasn't even. I don't remember us having any tips or tats or anything like that. But we had a little bit of distance because of the distance. You know what I mean? We had some distance because of the distance, and it wasn't bad. It was good. He gave me room to breathe. Yeah,
and I think that's a good idea. Like when your child goes off to college. And there's distance, right? How often do you think a parent should tap in, visit? Like, well, nowadays it's a little different.
I just think it shouldn't be too overbearing, you know. And my dad wasn't, and I know the only reason why he wasn't was because he wasn't in Georgia. You know what I mean? The distance helped me to like find myself and grow into who I thought I was going to become. But you know, of course, in college that will evolve. That becomes something else. But it gave me room. He gave me room. I think that's a good idea.
He gave you room to allow what he had put in you to blossom. Because oftentimes, and I know I've done it with Simone, my oldest child, even knowing the things that I put in her, I didn't give her an opportunity to allow it to blossom, to try it, right? To test it.
Blossom or not.
Or not, right?
Yeah.
But she did the or not because I always ran to her rescue, right? So I never gave her the opportunity to put into action what I've given her. So when she called, I'd run, right? Instead of saying, you know that, I gave you that, right? So now she was so accustomed, to the rescue, right? Yeah. And she and I have had this conversation last on Mother's Day, actually. And she said that I was a hindrance to her growth. I was a hindrance to her growth because I didn't give her the opportunity to do those things.
I think space is key, even when it hurts.
Even when it hurts.
I'm kind of going through that with Isaiah now, like, ooh,
yeah, the teens, you know, young adults, awesome. So then you got married.
My daddy was there. He walked me down the aisle. We were all down, you know, by the altar. It was so beautiful, it was so great, it was so small and intimate, and it felt good. You know what I mean? It felt good. And my daddy was there, and he supported. I think the pastor asked him, you know, say some words or something. He was just saying, the godly thing. I think he said on the show, do the godly thing.
Yeah.
But he was saying that, have good, clean fun and do the godly thing.
Yeah.
And he's been saying it. So that, that was the win. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Mm-hmm.
Did he have any, did Dad have any advice for you prior to getting married?
He always said, remember, marriage is not a destination. You're never going to get there. You're signing up for the journey with this other person.
Yeah.
That's, for me, I don't think I heard that part. Because.
What did you hear? What did you hear, and then what did you do?
Back then, I can't tell you what I heard. I didn't hear that. But today, I understand it. I didn't even receive that back then.
That was a walk.
That was a walk. Like, what do you mean? Like, you get married and you live happily ever after. That's how this goes. And remember, I waited till I was 38 to get married.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, we're good. So I didn't even receive that. But, in retrospect, hindsight, I think if you understand that from the beginning, the way you move in the marriage and move out of the marriage is different.
When you say move out of the marriage.
So if you understand from the beginning that you're signing up for a journey, that's an unconditional situation.
Yeah, and so what does unconditional look like?
It's no matter what situation. I wasn't signing up for no matter what. No, I wasn't.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I wasn't. But if I would have heard what he said,
What do you think you would have gotten married?
that's a good time. Because I was just so in love, I probably would have did it anyway. At 38, at 46, no. But at 38, I probably would have anyway.
Yeah, and that comes with maturity, right?
Yeah.
And as a result of your experience, you have the answers today,
Today.
right? The answer that you had back then is
Yeah.
completely different because you didn't have that.
You didn't have that experience.
And
And it's your first goal.
It's your
First
first
marriage,
marriage.
not like it was number second or third or fourth.
I mean, and we don't get into relationship or marriage to say, well, I'm going to do it once for practice.
Correct.
I'm going to get into this thing and it's till death do us
All
part.
right. That's what you're thinking.
That's what you're thinking. But when we aren't equipped or we are equipped and we aren't taking what we've been equipped with
Yeah.
to use as tools in our relationships, our marriages, as individuals, because that's where it started. And that's why I do this show. Let's be clear. And I still do marriage, of course, but I've been doing a series where it's more about the individual because we have to understand that it starts with you first. If I am not a happy, healthy, healed, and whole individual, I can't be that as a wife, and he can't be that as a husband, right? Marriage is all about serving, right? And if I'm not ready to serve the need of someone else, I'm setting myself up. So serving the need of someone else, what is his family? What does he need, right? And if I am not equipped with what he needs, we've got to just set ourselves up. Where are we going?
Hungry.
We're going hungry, absolutely. So yeah, I like that you said, today your answer is completely different.
It is.
But that's what experience is.
Yeah. Growth, wisdom, the journey for yourself.
The journey for yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we aren't going to experience until we are actually in a particular type of relationship. So as a single woman and as a single woman, we're not going to experience what it feels like to go without that companion if we were in a relationship, right?
Yep.
There are certain things that we're going to be tested on as a single woman that we've never been tested on as a wife.
Right.
No need.
No need.
Does that make sense?
Unnecessary. Yep. Total sense.
So it's
Crazy.
it is crazy. And that's why I asked you to break down those sections, those seasons of your life, because what you were thinking between 9 and 12, or 8 and 12, totally different from 13 to 17. Totally different from 18 to 24, so forth and so on. And as we begin to mature and have experiences and bump our heads, right? It's not until then that we then learn the things that our parents have told us and we believe it.
And we believe it.
That's different.
And I think too, when you have kids of your own reminding you of the things that your parents said, you're like, oh, okay, apply that now.
Yeah,
But
and you start
sometimes-
sounding like the parents.
And you start, yeah. Jason said it
Like, oh, I sound just like my mom, right?
Yeah.
Man, and so you were married for
4 years.
You were married for 4 years. Okay, so once you went through what you went through in your marriage, and you got, you guys went through a divorce, and how did you share that with Dad? Did you share before it actually hit? Was that hard because he had been
No.
telling you some things?
I was so angry. No,
No.
it wasn't hard at all. Yeah, it wasn't so hard. Back in those years, I harbored so much resentment and anger. It's only been the last year and a half, 2 years, where I've actually gotten out of just being mad. Just being mad that it didn't work.
Yeah.
It's only been a couple years. And
And you've been divorced how
January 2019.
Yeah.
And it's just now I'm just kind of dating myself, just kind of.
Thank you for being transparent with that, because
Yeah,
most
for
people
sure.
will step on the scene and say, because you're saying like it's just been like a year and a half.
2 years that I'm just,
That's fresh.
that's
new.
new.
Right.
Yeah.
What were you doing prior to that? Were you coping in an unhealthy way?
Oh,
or
yeah.
What were you doing?
Drinking, just sad, just crying all the time. Like, girl, what is going on? I really think I was low-key depression.
Yeah, it sounds
And
like
it wasn't low-key, because I was so to myself, nobody knew what was going on. And I put myself in a box.
you did. I was
Yeah.
bothered by that.
And it was okay, because I let me in that darkness sometimes.
Yeah, you were there too.
Yeah, let me sit in that, because it's in those times, for me, I can't speak for you guys out there, but in those dark times, it literally was just me and God. And I am,
But that's sometimes the best.
yeah, and I needed that, and I had kind of steered away from going to church, just mad at everything. It didn't work out. I was going, it's like, oh, hold on a minute. And I was sat down for months to just hone in on me and God, And I'm not the holiest person, I'm not the churchiest person, but He knows my voice. And you just have to, I'm trying to talk to the person that's angry out there. You know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
I was gonna say talk to that.
Yeah, I want to talk to the person that's angry, and man, there's another side.
Yeah.
You come out better from those painful moments, those pain points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just so much better. You feel better. You look better. Your vibe, your aura is good. Yeah, you're happier. But it takes time. And if you find yourselves in the dark places, I would say, in retrospect, bring your close ones a little closer. Don't push them away, because you can really slip into a real darkness. I mean, God can get you out of that, but you don't want to go there, because it can get dark. I've had that happen where it's gotten dark. So thank you for saying you was bothered by that, because when you're in the darkness, you feel like nobody cares.
Wow. But and the funny part is you choose to be there. It's
When you're
okay.
in the darkness, you feel like nobody cares. And you just sitting up in that thing, sad, lonely, depressed, mad. God, why me?
Yeah.
Come on, God, I'm doing better. I'm doing the right thing now. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just gets so dark. And I just want to encourage the people that are in dark places. It's going to get better. You have to push through. Link up with your spiritual people, the people you consider holy. Find them. Latch on. Listen to what they have to say. Open that Bible up. When you don't feel like talking to anyone, open that Bible up. Because there's some stuff, like I told you, I can't quote many scriptures. I'm not the holiest soul. But when you open that book, there's another level of comfort. If those are your roots,
If those are your
there's a level of comfort where it's like, okay, and you find your way out. And like I told, I've been divorced for 4 years, and I'm telling you guys, the anger has subsided not even 2 years ago, so it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It's not going to happen. Oh, the divorce is over. Your friends are partying. No, you're still going to be angry and mad and sad and upset.
And you can still do all of those things and then come home and still be
mad, sad, and upset. Because some of your friends are going through things too, and they out there.
Right.
But when they come home, they're right where you are.
Yeah.
We gotta latch on to each other, especially as sisters, more.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that lately too. Like we gotta connect more, support. What you doing? What's your goal? How can I help you? Service is not only in marriage; it's in any relationship.
We are servants.
Yeah.
You are a servant, right? So I should be able to serve your need as well as a friend. We have to learn how to compartmentalize our relationships,
100%.
right? Compartmentalize our relationships and give each relationship what it needs, right? I can't give my kids what my dude needs. I can't give you what my kids need, right? And so it's not going to work. That wouldn't be fair to you all, and it definitely wouldn't be fair to me.
Yeah.
Right? It's not fair to me because now
I
I
serve all confusion.
yeah. What are you doing? I don't need a background, mommy. Right? Right?
I need you to get off my butt.
Matter of fact, can you
Get off the road. Get out.
Go
Please.
somewhere. So we have to learn how to compartmentalize those relationships and give what is needed to, the individual.
And just kind of going back to the serving, going back to Dad, he's always been such a servant. I want to say from 0 to maybe, and we went to your dad's church a few times, but from 0 to I want to say maybe like 14, we were always in church, like 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. This is not a lot. This is too much.
Right.
I don't want to wear these socks with these good lace. I'm sick of skirts.
They were cute.
But I was tired of tapping and then hard bottom shoes. It was just like, oh my God. But hey, it all makes sense.
It all makes sense now. Because that was, so now when we go back to what is the core, what is the foundation? The foundation is what's keeping us standing, right?
100%.
You have to make sure that your foundation is solid. Because we will begin to pack on all of these things on top, some good, some bad. And all of it is heavy, right? Weight-wise,
very,
right? All of it. So you begin to pack all of these things on the foundation, and if it's not strong enough to carry all of these things, guess what's going to happen? It's going to collapse. So when you get into a position where you say, you know what, I need to just stop for a minute, breathe, and start all over, the only thing you should have standing is the foundation. Because we can rearrange a house, right? The foundation is what it is. And I can say, I want to knock this wall out over here, I want to make these 2 bedrooms just 1 room. I want this bathroom to be a little bigger. We have access to do that, right? So as you were saying, don't give up. Do not give up. I don't care, what it feels like or what it looks like. I want you to think about that last thing that you went through that you felt like, oh my God, I am not going to be able to get through this. Guess where you're at now? On the other side.
Or still going through.
Right? But you're here to hear this.
That's it.
Right?
Hopefully this gets you to the other side.
And you have to experience that because what's on the other side of the door is going to take the experience from this over here.
100%.
You will not be able to handle what's over there. That's not going to set us up.
100%.
I'm not going to put you in a position where I know you're going to get beat down.
That's good, yeah.
No. This is prep time over here. What you're going through, the bad relationship, the divorce. I'm grooming you for what's on the other side of the door. Because guess what? When you get on the other side of the door, it's going to be a bigger mountain to climb.
Yes.
And then there's going to be some things you go through there to get you on the other side of the door. The other door.
100%.
It's access. God has given us access to so many things in life as His children. Because He loves us, right? So He's given us access to each other. So when you talk about, make sure you reach out to your loved ones and stay connected and stay close.
Yeah.
He's giving you access to a little piece of Him, right? Because sometimes, I know when I was going through my divorce, there were pockets of me not talking to God as much as I should have, right?
Angry,
Bitter, but he gave me people that were giving me him in a practical way, right? And so I appreciate those things. And so having friends that you can just be truthful, honest, raw, like I'm mad and I don't want to talk to anyone and I don't like anyone and whatever it is, you have to have those friends that are willing to listen. What I always say is your feelings are valid, right? They're valid. I'm never going to tell you, no, you shouldn't. I'm never going to tell you to get over it, right? I want to hear you out. I want to let you know that what you feel is okay, right? But I also want to encourage you and letting you know that there's another side to this thing, right? And that is a part of what I do with helping women to become healed and whole, right? And in our book, Akilah is also one of the co-authors in the book Life After Divorce.
Shout out to my sister.
Hey,
Life
y'all.
After Divorce, authors, co-authors.
Hello. We share some things in that book that not for us, and it's not to bash the men
At
but
all.
it's not at all because you and I can honestly say we're good friends with our ex-husbands,
Cool.
right?
That's friends.
Not a problem. Yeah. So we wrote that. We put those pieces in the book
Yeah.
for y'all, for the woman or the man that is going through, or coming out of divorce and just feel like, okay, how do I put these pieces back together? What do I do? What do I do? And especially for that woman or man who feels that he or she has, like, okay, I'm healed. I feel like I'm healing, right? Because you never really arrived.
Never really.
There's just a process. I'm healing. So now what do I do? And I want to date again. You know, how do I do that? Well, what do you might ask? I'm having a single semester. Shameless plug.
She don't have a denim on.
June 25th, you see the denim. It's called Denim Date Night. I'm going to put this plug in real fast, you guys. So all of you that are single, and really honestly, I'm going to tell you, no matter what your status is, I am certain that there's going to be something said or shown or done at this event that you'll be able to glean from and take home with you. I always say, I want to go home with you and not in no funny business way, right? I want to go home with you. I want you to see things in a different light as a result of what you got from a Make It Rise event, right? And so, you coming?
I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm
super
excited. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
You know why? And I know we're shifting a little bit. I'm excited because I don't think we've really been taught how to date. I don't think we've been taught.
I know we have.
We haven't been taught how to date. We haven't been taught what to look for, what to expect, who to be, how to be, right?
100%.
I think we've been taught a lot to expect, one, right?
Put on your best self.
Put on your best self and not just be yourself, right?
That is so
Show up as you because I said this the other day. Show up as you because your representative will get tired at some point.
Yeah.
I'm tired of representing. Like,
You
just
don't
get
get
who you
mad
are.
at
Yeah, you know,
Be yourself.
it is what it is. So I'm excited about that event, you guys. I'll drop the information in the comments as
I'm gonna
well.
put the link in my bio. Just share that with me. Just put that link.
Well, that's that support. That's that support, bro.
Yes.
So, okay, so now you're divorced, and what is the relationship like with Dad now?
Well, Dad and I are still super close. That's not gonna never. I mean, he's Dad. You know, we're close with him.
Yes,
You know, so that'll never change. He is who he has always been.
right.
We've evolved. We've changed. We've grown. We've gotten wiser. But his wisdom still pours into me.
Yeah, that's good.
And the best thing about being older and having a father figure, uncle, whoever's in your life, male figure, is that when you're able to ask those difficult questions, Dad, what do you think about this? Whether it's financial, relationship-wise, just life stuff. Like, what do you think about this? Or if you were me, what would you do? This is my current situation. Here are my opportunities. What would you do if you were me? And the stuff that they come up with,
Yeah.
I would have never thought about it.
Thought it.
I would have never thought it. So yeah,
we're not still enough. We don't be still enough to even go to the elders.
And even if we are though, that's 30 years plus on us. So there's a whole nother level of input that we need at 46.
We need.
Right? So I go to my dad for everything. He probably like, okay, you really gonna ask me that? I am.
Yeah, but no, he appreciates.
I know he do, but I
He
know
does.
sometimes you know, okay,
This-
it's 8:52. You know he wants his phone off 8:39.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call my daddy. I'm gonna call my daddy.
absolutely. I love it. So if Dad is watching right now,
We love you, Daddy.
hey,
We
Dad,
love you.
we love you.
Thank you for everything.
Let me ask my question.
Okay, well, I was gonna say.
Oh, wait.
Okay, go.
Dad is watching right now. Look in the camera and say something.
I was already on.
I know, but I want to ask my question. Give him a thank you.
Dad, thank you for those tough times, those timed brushing teeth moments, girl. 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
Listen,
That, yeah, 3 minute brushing. Thank you, Dad, for all of the rigorous training. Thank you for what I thought you were crazy for doing. I at 13 through 16, I thought something was wrong with you. But it wasn't you, it was me and my immaturity.
and how you were receiving.
And how I couldn't even receive it. You know, I couldn't receive 40-year-old wisdom at 13. You just can't.
You can't. But here's the thing.
You remember it though.
You do. Because what he did, all he did was plant a seed,
Yeah.
right? And he just began to water it. Whatever you water will grow, whether it be good or bad. Absolutely. So he said, let me plant the seed. And although she don't get it right now,
I did not get it at all. Dad told me go, we on LA and 15th. I went down over there off of Hill Street, bust a U-turn on Santee, went through the alley, shopped. I made some pit stops, some foolish stops. But Dad, thank you. Thank you. You were always there for those stops. Thank you for that. That is best. I just appreciate, I love him to death. Love my daddy.
yeah, amazing. Well, this has been fun.
This has been fun.
Do you have any questions for me?
I'm surprised I'm not nervous. I don't have no questions for you, but I was nervous. I was shaking when you first started.
You were. And I
was like, oh my God, what is this?
Because what I like to say when we come on,
You're so comfortable. Like you over and over.
speak over and over, right? But at the same time, that's why when we talked earlier, you said, no, get your notes out. And I said, I don't like the script. I just want to,
Yeah.
And they've been sitting there. I asked you one question, and it went from your childhood all the way to now, where you're at today. I think that was the basis of what we're talking about, so that we can get to why you need to say thank you to that.
Yeah.
Even those times where you heard him, but you didn't hear him, right?
At all.
Because
I heard him, but I didn't apply.
you heard him, but you didn't apply. That's good.
I heard it.
different.
You hear like, oh yeah, okay, make sure when you do this and you just say, oh okay, back here. There's no application. I didn't do
And when
it.
there's no application, there is no growth. There is
No fruit.
There is no fruit. But he continued to pour.
And the roots eventually grew, and I eventually like, whoa, stuff started coming out the soil,
And you begin to see it.
and you start to grow. That's good. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Say it again.
I forgot. It came from my heart. I can't repeat it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, and that was a part of her acting, right?
I know. I'm sorry.
You're a Keela today. You're
I'm
a
a
Keela.
Yes.
Yeah, but this
I'm
has
trying.
been great. This has been great. I'm excited that I was able to get you on because I know you usually all the time. I'm gonna be in the background. I have to do whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
but I am not getting in front of the camera.
But you said the magic word,
What?
Dad. I was gonna say, no, you said Dad. You do whatever I can for my dad.
And I thought it was important because he started it, the series, and you end the series. So you guys were my two book covers, bookends.
I love it.
You know?
I love that.
And everybody else in between were good and juicy. It was a part of the story, but he gave the front of the book, you gave the back of the book, and everyone else gave a piece of what this book was about. So
100%. I love it.
this was amazing.
What are questions? Do you normally look at your questions?
Yes, I do.
You need a
So,
phone or-
right, we can't take it off.
Oh.
It's Valerie. Hey, Val. I think I
Val.
saw Mel on here. Thank
Oh,
you guys
hey,
for
Mel.
joining us. For those of you who have come in, for those of you that are going to watch the replay, if you have any questions, please still drop them in there. Keely and I, we'll get it and we'll respond. But it is an honor. Hey, Val said, hey. It is an honor to just be here. As a matter of fact, I wanted to shout out my sister, Erica. We're in Serendipity.
Oh, that's right.
So as you can see, I'm not at home this time, right? My sister has a studio, a loft downtown LA that she rents out. It's called Serendipity.
Beautiful.
beautiful, 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 and at a good cost as well. So we'll also put the information to that in there as well. You'll still see a couple of pictures.
Yes. I'm gonna post it on my
Okay.
I'll post it on Instagram.
For you all to see. But again, I want to say thank you all to the viewers that are watching. I hope that we've said something that you know are able to take in and use for yourself or
Yes.
share with someone that will be able to use.
Yes, 100%.
I will be back in July, and I will be back with a series called The Doctors, right? So I will have about 5 doctors that are going to come on, and they're going to give their point of view of marriage versus dating. You know, my question is, do we do too much when we're dating? Am I giving you wife?
Yeah,
And should I?
We do too.
We do too much, especially those that are really a wife. Like I know, right? So it's easy for me to operate in that vein. But how do you pull back from being who you are?
You got to. I don't know how.
Because you'll set the doctors are coming through.
I don't know.
You'll set yourself up, right?
Yes.
So those are some of the things we'll be talking about during that series. So I'm excited. I will be on a break this month, well, coming June. We'll be back the first, preparing for the denim date. Now, you guys, I have on a denim outfit.
It's so cute.
It's cute. Because I wanted to remind myself to reference that the singles mixer. Listen, we have some amazing speakers that are going to be there. When you register, you'll soon after receive a questionnaire. I want to know what you want to know about these specific topics.
Hey,
as it
Marty.
relates to, you Marty, my baby? As it relates to dating or just a wife, a husband. That's why I said, no matter what your status is, there's going to be something there for everyone. We're going to be talking about health and wealth. We're going to talk about effective communication, intimacy versus sex. That's big. That's a big one. Huge. Because just because we have sex doesn't mean you're being intimate. And just because we're talking about being intimate doesn't mean I'm talking about having sex with you. Right? It's such a big difference. But we're going to talk about some of those good, juicy things, you guys, that we have not been told or taught growing up about dating or even about ourselves as individuals before dating. Because there's a lot of work that has to be done before you even step into the realm of dating someone.
100%.
But I will say this, some things you're not going to find out until you begin dating. And if you aren't willing to look in the mirror ministry, if you aren't willing to look in the mirror, listen, I got all kinds of ministries. If you aren't willing to look in the mirror at yourself and say, hey, well, maybe let me look at this thing. Yeah, you're just still setting yourself up for failure.
100%.
Yeah.
It starts there.
It starts with you. So I'm looking forward to the denim date night, the singles mixer, me too. I'm looking forward to the next series of Let's Be Clear, and I hope you all will come back. For those of you that are on YouTube, please subscribe so you'll get all of the updates and notifications from when we're coming back. I'll have a few things going on in between, but it'll all be in regards to the singles mixer. So you'll get some little goodies in between. Yes. So again, I want to say thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Akila, for giving me a little bit of your time today to just share and say thank you to that.
I would say anytime, but this is it.
This is it.
This is the one.
All right. I'll have to take that. All right, you guys. Thank you again, and we will see you soon.
Bye, you guys. See you.